Lots of familiar faces. Welcome. We're just going to wait a couple of minutes for Grumpity to get in. Yes, it definitely is the usual suspects. We need to do a lineup. I like that. The user group enthusiasts. I don't know, that sounds more like a badge of pride. Okay, see, Anya's come online, so I'm just going to give her a second to get here. Perfect. Thank you, Worley. And here we have our chewable vitamin of the day, Grumpity Linden.
Shush. I'm squishy and gummy.
So first of all, welcome to everyone who is here today. This is something new that Anya or Grumpity and I started to talk about. As a lot of you know, especially because of all the familiar faces, that we have a number of different user groups that cover different areas of Second Life in our product, and we felt it was a great idea to start one up for our different web properties. Some of you have taken part of smaller groups when we did changes to Marketplace and other products, but we'd like to go ahead and have a wider reaching group so we can discuss different things we're working on, get your feedback, your ideas. I'm seeing if she has a connection at all. Okay, so let me continue on while she gets her voice figured out. So when we're talking about web properties, there are a lot of different aspects that sometimes people aren't aware of. And yeah, we will definitely talk about Marketplace. When we're talking about web properties, we've got secondlife.com, maps, Marketplace, search, auctions, lindenlab.com, profiles, the join flow. We help marketing with the different promotions that are going on. World.secondlife.com, events. Most recently, you've seen the new splash or new login screen. We're also doing a lot of work with a still sort of new feature called Place Pages. We also have Destination Guide and landing pages. So depending on what we're working on and also feedback and ideas from all of you, we're going to be touching on different topics in different meetings. One thing that's always good for us to point out is that if you do have an issue, or if you have an idea about a feature you'd like to see us investigate, the best way to reach all of us is through Jira by filing a bug or, say it with Jira, with a bug, or we also have the feature request option when filing a Jira. What this means is we do daily bug triages, and once a week we review feature requests. And this is done with a group of people which includes product, QA, and our developers. So it is absolutely the best way to get multiple people looking at your issue or your idea and reviewing it. If you ever have a question about Jira, you can drop me a message in World. I'm pretty good about being able to respond to them as quickly as I can. And I will try to get back to you with what information I have. I may in some cases ask you to put your information into a Jira so that I can get people like Worley and a lot of you that have helped out in Jira, asking good questions and offering suggestions. So let me scroll back. We had a question from Abraxa. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Do you want to tell us about the issue that you wanted to talk about? And while she may be typing, if anybody else has a question they'd like to ask, voice or chat or
I'd like to use this opportunity to advertise Alexa's new blog section, well, actually forum section, where she posts about every month about all the web releases that we've done that are suitable to talk about, and then usually a creative way of saying internal fixes, which is our favorite exercise.
Absolutely. Let me grab that for you real quick.
I have also made a concerted effort to post about forum.
So right now we're opening up the floor for any questions, ideas, feedback you'd like to give us.
I came here because I was curious about the whole SL Marketplace stuff. I've slept since I've read anything, so are there going to be changes to some of that? Or am I dreaming? I don't know, honestly. I guess maybe just because it was in the title of this meeting, I kind of thought maybe there would be marketplace discussions. Because there's a lot to discuss about that. But
were there certain points, pain points, suggestions you had?
Yeah, actually, I'm rebranding, and during that process, I did a market search of the name that I'm going to be using, and I noticed that it pulled up a lot of names that did not have stores. So it was kind of like cluttering up the search. I don't know if there's a way that we could maybe add a little check mark to the search that says only people that have a store. I don't know how you do that, so.
So was it pulling up products with your potential store's name?
No, people.
People, okay.
Yeah, there was only one actual store that had a similar name. But most of it was avatar names with no stores.
Okay, that's good feedback. Thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, trying to.
Small question.
Sure.
It's a minor request, although it might seem minor, but doing marketplace listings can be quite onerous, and one of the things that I find a little bit annoying when I'm doing my listings is that it always defaults back to the oldest date first, like date ascending in the list of marketplace listings. When I'm doing my own. So when I have to then go to the latest things that I've uploaded, I have to keep, it's just an extra click and wait, because every time I go back to my marketplace listings, it defaults to date ascending.
Okay, so you're listing, you're pulling up your products, it goes oldest, you've added something, you pull up your list of products, it goes to oldest first.
Yeah.
But you just added something, so it would always be at the bottom of the list. You have to refresh, you have to reverse the list, wait for that to happen to get to the product. Okay.
Yeah.
Wanted to make sure I understood what you were saying.
Yes, exactly. So then when I do one listing and then go back to the list, it's back again, and then I have to, you know what I mean? So it's just an extra step each time that slows it down even more, which would be really cool if we could save our preferred listing order.
It's kind of like, if you have an Excel spreadsheet and, you can sort your columns up there, and the sorting, you pick date and it doesn't stick. It reverts back to name or something like that, Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a programmer or anything. I mean, in my head, it seems like that would be a simple thing to do, because it seems like it's it's a pulling a table from some database or something. But I'm going to get kicked out for that because there's no programmers.
Just a few developers.
but that's what she's kind of referring to, and I it seems it would be simple, just not have the table default back. Just I don't know.
No, I can understand what you're saying. So I will look into this and write up a JIRA for a feature request.
Alexa, Lucy just posted the JIRA link, and we imported it. It should be weighing 1503 internally. For colors, demos is a much harder problem, unfortunately. But certainly the sorting issue should be resolvable.
Great, thank you.
Got it, and I am adding it to my tracking doc. Okay, I need to scroll back. I'm trying to answer voice questions. Let me see what I have missed. If anybody wants to repeat anything in voice that I have missed or retype it, I'm trying to go through. Okay, Boolean search doesn't work for demos. Okay, I am going to grab that information. Thank you. Love images. Always makes it so much easier.
I think they mean like one demo listing and all of the other things point to that one demo. Is that the idea that you guys were talking about? Oh no, it was something else. My bad.
Are you referring to the mega prims when people do the sim surrounds, Lucia? Okay, that's what I thought.
I'm wondering why we don't have a redelivery option as well on Marketplace.
Well, I'd like to pile on what they said about the name. A lot of people don't. They just don't know that they have to put in resident in the last name, or else, everything will fail.
Oh, that's an interesting one. The display name versus username.
I don't understand why you can't use like UIDs instead of names, since like display names can change all the time. I mean, people change their display names all the time unless they have a business. So why couldn't you do a gifting option under UID, since you can pull up a profile and just copy that and paste it in? I mean, we have friends lists on our secondlife.com where we can see who's online by their names. We have friends lists in Second Life that we can click and copy a name, and it comes formatted with display name and then our legacy name. I'm huge on cut and paste because with all the special characters and everything else, I can't type out that garbage a lot of times. So, I mean, I just don't understand why we don't have that option. So.
I'm sure there's a lot of jars like that.
True, Polysale, but we also have people that honestly have had things on Marketplace forever and they're no longer in world or available, and somebody buys their product and their product doesn't work and they have absolutely no way of getting any type of resolution.
And some people pass away and nobody knows about it too. So that's a thing.
And that's the thing about this discussion is we have both ends. And that's why we're looking for ideas and feedback on how to address this.
Yeah, but it's getting to the point where extremely old stuff on the marketplace, even though it may work and stuff, is Second Life is kind of outgrowing it in a way. Not right now, so don't throw bombs at me, but yeah, there could be notices on both ends, to the seller and to the buyer, perhaps. You know, this store is going away such and such date if, you know, seller does not respond or whatever. Well, they're going to have to get rid of some things because, you know, it takes up all that space on a hard disk. So, yeah, that and new stuff is hard to find. What about deciding what goes based on sales, too? In addition to if the merchant hasn't been selling. Like if a product hasn't sold in 2 years, then maybe it needs to come down off of the marketplace.
I agree that demos serve a purpose because even though I make stuff, when I check other people's stuff, I buy a demo. I tend to shop on Marketplace a lot. The only frustration for me is when I do a search and all I see is I have like 50 pages of demos before I get to an item.
If you probably would have more success with that idea of a fee if it was marketed to prevent copy botters. But then, they might be making so much money from ripped off items that they wouldn't care about the fee. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of problems you could solve with the premium membership and reduction of certain fees and whatnot, and other possible things that could be related to that. Because if you're going to do a fee on the marketplace, then I would probably give a discount for premium members or no fee. I'd probably go be a premium member. Well, you certainly wouldn't want to talk about fees right after January. Maybe 6 months down the road or something. Well, I understand that. That's not what I meant. becoming a creator in Second Life isn't easy, period. So it's taken me almost 10 years to have any kind of sales worth mentioning. Reviews are useless. Lex, that was part of the discussion as well.
Yeah, that was also covered.
I don't see anything wrong with removing seriously old content when the seller has not been in World for many years. I mean, we're not talking about like, just a year or two. Well, exclusions could be made for things like textures, because I agree with you. Textures should not be removed from the marketplace, good or bad, from 2002 or not. That's a good point about banned content, because what if the merchant is a copy botter and then, they get banned and removed? Their marketplace listings should be removed too, I think. I'm sure that would clean up the marketplace a little bit.
Correct. If they're banned, your marketplace stores should be closed, and there are cases when that doesn't happen, but they're not intentional. And by banned, I mean if the account is closed. It's a bug, not a feature.
So I want to thank everyone, first of all, you brave people, for coming to our first of many web user groups. I am collecting all of my notes along with the chat history, and we'll put together a document that the Lindens who are in attendance can go through, and your feedback. Thank you so much again for attending. We do have the schedule up on the user group wiki page, and thank you again. Have a wonderful afternoon.